applause, please. Just throw money. All right, sorry. I talked about the environmental degradation. I want to talk a little bit about some money issues. The Poughkeepsie Journal did an editorial about a month ago about New Paltz. Even Rob Weiss, who's a Republican county legislator in the county, sent it around to the rest of us, talking about a 10% cut in the disposal costs in the town of New Paltz by recycling 20% more, by cutting their disposal costs by 20%. I want to tell you that Shabazz Jackson in the city of Beacon went from $1.3 million to $570,000 the cost of disposal costs in Beacon. This is 20 years ago when he was running things. He got the city of Beacon up to a 70% recycling rate because 7,500 tons being sent to the incinerator turned into 2,800 tons being sent to the incinerator. Massive cost savings in Beacon. Okay, WAMC has talked about how they ramped up recycling in the city of Springfield, Massachusetts, saving money. CSCA in the city of Poughkeepsie. In Toronto, they collect the food waste every week. They only collect the garbage once every 2 weeks. You want to talk about saving money? There's 150 different cities, towns, and villages all across the country where there's curbside collection of food waste. I don't know if you know this, but not just what Josephine Papagni was talking about in Reading, Pennsylvania, where there's $1 for each ton disposal, that tax could go towards recycling and composting. But apparently, Ithaca, Tompkins County, $37 a ton is an incentive for food waste composting. In Connecticut, it's something along the lines of $60 a ton. Planning grants, performance grants, startup grants, matching grants. That's what we need to put in this plan to make recycling infrastructure happen. Otherwise, it's just going to be like what Ken Kraft said. It's going to be a nice plan where the, and by the way, Hudson River Sloop Clearwater, Sierra Club, NYPIRG, Citizens Environmental Coalition, all those groups are part of the New York State Zero Waste Coalition. 3 years ago, they said that Dutchess County and New York State need to be in an 85% recycling rate by 2020. The plan does not have a goal, just like Shabazz said. The plan has a projection based on faulty assumptions, and the projection is for only 59.5% recycling rate by 2021. Not what Clearwater, Sierra Club, NYPIRG, CEC calls for, which is 85% recycling rate by 2020. Garbage is not garbage. Urban Ore in Berkeley, California, there's a guy named Dan Knapp. He came up with the clean dozen. Nantucket's at over 90% recycling rate. San Francisco's at over 80% recycling rate. Plant debris, food waste, paper, wood, ceramics, soils, metals, glass, polymers, textiles, chemicals, items for reuse. That's the clean dozen. Garbage isn't garbage, but it's like what was mentioned before. It's the solid waste. We should be talking about materials management. I went to college in St. John's College in Annapolis 30 years ago. The garbage in Annapolis is not different from the garbage here. Rick Anthony of RichardAnthonyAssociates.com, he looked at Carroll County, Maryland. There's $12 million worth of stuff that could be money if you sell that stuff and recycle and compost it. That's in a county 2/3 the population of ours. We're sitting on $15 to $20 million worth of stuff. We're just burying in landfill.